Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 574 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever, and coming up on the show we'll be talking to artist Helen Broadhead about her work, including the Brood collection. We'll be having a natter with Spence talking about his music and his travels around Europe. Kriss Marco joins us for a bit of a chat. He will be singing online live and we're finding out when. We'll talk to the team behind the 1911 Cafe, finding out about their fantastic takeaway service. James Stevens of the Empty Can joins us to let us know about their third album, which hopefully won't be as difficult as their second. And we'll be having a natter with Nikki Evans. She is from the Helen O'Grady Academy. We'll be finding out what is going on in their world online at the moment. That's all coming up on the show this week. Long before For Sure were on TV, Kriss Marco and his mates were performing around the UK. Kriss is working solo at the moment and he joins me now for a chat. Hello, sir.
Hiya, Jay.
How are we doing?
I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm all right, thank you, and good to catch up with you. And as we speak, you're preparing for some online work, your first foray into some live music performances.
Indeed, this next coming week, I'm preparing for for next Saturday, Sunday, a live show like with all my favourite kind of music, which everyone's been asking for since the pandemic, and I haven't kind of found it in myself to do it, but I'm ready for it now. So.
Well, music is your life, and as we say, For Sure was absolutely huge. And I mean, you guys had a brilliant sound and just something so different, performing songs that were familiar.
Yes, indeed. We're four guys from Wolverhampton and the same kind of interest in music, same kind of genre of music, like the soul, Motown kind of stuff, and like the church gospel kind of influences. And we created this massive, unique sound. Of which we don't think, many people have done that since, so we're proud of that. Yeah,
and, with what you did on TV, I mean, that must have been absolutely huge because, say, you were well known beforehand. I mean, you were already touring across the UK, weren't you?
Indeed, yes. We were together for a few years just before, the X Factor stint, and solo as well, had quite a bit of experience. So that was just like something that took off from nothing, and really enjoyed it.
And enjoyed by your many thousands of fans as well. And I remember the hype and buzz around it all, and just how impressed people were with what you were doing. And I mean, your voice was a massive part of that, and that is what keeps people listening to your songs to this day.
Yeah, it's an absolute honour to hear that comment from you personally. Thank you very much. It was a privilege to be one of the front runners of the group. It was like an honour to do that, and to deliver that kind of vocal through the group, and I'm still proud of that to this day.
Absolutely, and rightly so. And what are you going to be bringing us online next Saturday?
So next Saturday I'll be performing everything from the Motown classic soul with a bit of pop, R&B, some classics from back in the day, from 60s, a bit of everything. So each and every one of us can enjoy it.
And we'll bring your own personal style and fantastic delivery to that as well. And will the rest of the For Sure boys be watching you? Because I know you're still in touch with a few of them.
Indeed, I'll let them know, and I'm sure they'll show their support without a doubt.
So that's all happening. How do we find you online?
If you go into Facebook, if you're not already my friend, obviously, if you're watching this video, that means you are. Thank you very much. But if you're on this podcast and you're not my friend, if you do want to add me, it's Kriss with a K, Kriss Marco. That's Kriss Marco, and you see a picture of myself. Bit of Photoshop, but it is me. But if you want to add me on there, and then you can enjoy the video as everyone else.
And have a great time listening to the music. And I know it's not been an easy year for you and your family, but music is the strength that sort of carries you on through, isn't it?
It is indeed. If you didn't already know that we lost our mum, in the last few weeks. And it's been a hard time for us, especially with the pandemic. It was hard for us to get together, and we did manage to attend the funeral, in the numbers that we were allocated, and it's just been a real difficult time, and it still doesn't seem real to this day. personally. So.
Well, I know she was always proud and always will be proud of everything that you've done and the great work that you put in with your music, and through your strength and the fine quality of performances, you will continue to shine, and that will be evident next Saturday with the first online performance, and fingers crossed we can get a lot more out of you in the meantime whilst we wait for everything to get back to our new normal.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to it next week. It's something a long time coming. Through the last 3 months, it's been difficult for everyone, but I'm finally ready to go out there and put on a live show for all you followers out there.
And you do like to be sharply dressed as well. So will you be adding this to the performance from home?
Oh, definitely. The iron will be out. The creases will be out. The shirt. That's it. I will be, ready. Dressed to the nines.
I've bumped into you when I've been shopping in town, and you put everyone else on the high street to shame with how you look when you were just nipping out to the shops.
That's it. Even when I'm going jogging, I've got a suit and a jacket on. I'm joking. I always feel, that if you dress in a certain way, it just makes you feel good, and makes you feel that's just something I've always done. Kind of try to dress up a little bit. People always say, "Oh, you look good in a tracksuit as well," but yeah, that's it. If I could sleep in a suit, I would, but
It's proper quality material. That's the way we like it. Well, Kriss, always good to speak to you. Keep up the good work. Very much looking forward to catching you live online. What time are we looking out for you next Saturday?
It'll be in the afternoon, between 3 and 5 o'clock next week.
Okay, so make sure you get on the socials, look for Kriss Marco, and be ready for some fantastic performance. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Always good to catch up with you. Kriss, thank you for having a chat.
Thank you very much. You take care, Jay. Thank you very much.
Hannah Broadhead is an absolutely wonderful artist. I've been very much enjoying seeing some of the stuff she's been sharing online over the last few weeks. You can often find her on Facebook and on Instagram, but you can certainly find her right in front of your eyes now. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
I'm okay. How's yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Now, last time we were talking about you was with obviously that young man Robert Bowers, because we were talking about your joint exhibition, which has been ongoing online, even though it's always went a bit against you with the site for the exhibition itself in Telford and in Ironbridge at the moment, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a few
hiccups, should we call them?
We've had a few hiccups on the way, flooding and.
Pandemics, yes,
and then the world just going mad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's finally up and running now, and it should be up until I think it was September now. So they've extended it for another 3 months.
So people can actually go in and see your artworks now in the exhibition.
They can go in. Obviously, with most things now, they're working a system out, so you have to follow a system round.
Yeah, it's all part of making sure the socially distancing requirements are there. But it is a chance to see some fantastic artwork, and you're actually obscuring some pictures which you have behind you at the moment. But we're used to seeing so much of your work as you're producing it online. And where do you see yourself sitting? Because your mediums you work in, is it gouache?
Oil painting.
It is oil, so.
It's oil painting, yeah. I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like the oil paints. I suppose it's one of those materials that I've been doing since I was probably about 13,
mm-hmm.
trying to hone the skills, shall we say. But as with anything, you find out new ways of doing things every couple of months. You sort of come up, why wasn't I doing that before? This would have helped a lot previously.
But I mean, yours is a very creative household, and not only do you do the paintings, but I've seen all sorts of other things from some brilliant Christmas decorations I've seen you make in the past. But there's a wide array of different things that you do.
You have to kind of find different things. Some days you think, I cannot pick up a paintbrush because everything I do will end up being painted over. There is quite a few paintings out there which have got probably 3 or 4 paintings underneath.
So your quality control is high as ever. And the stuff that you're producing, though, when we do finally get to see it, absolutely phenomenal. So I wonder what we're missing out on here and what the market would be for the Hannah rejects, as it were.
Well, you won't see many Hannah rejects. I will be painted over, hopefully, with a better piece than what was underneath. But I suppose as well, in times like these, you can't go as far as you used to go. So you can't be limited to where you go. So I've tended to move my work more close to home.
Yeah.
Well,
it's something though that the variety of things that we've done. So we've got some pictures of buildings which are behind you at the moment, and what is your inspiration? What do you enjoy painting most?
Well, if you'd have asked me a couple of years ago, it would probably be portraits. Because I spent probably most of my career trying to hone at being good at portraits, and then last year or so. Well, yeah, last year and a half or so, it's been landscapes, because I've never really given myself the time to explore landscapes because I was so focused to trying to get the perfect face.
Yeah.
While painting. So last year and a half, it has been landscapes, and to be honest, that's probably where I see my work going more. It was kind of a bit of a, why wasn't I doing this all along?
But when it comes to any painting, though, I mean, you talk about having portraits and landscapes. Obviously, you're competing with photography, but a painting is so much more than just the image that's there, isn't it? It's an interpretation, and we can see through your eyes what you're picking out, whether it is the way in which you look at somebody in a portrait or how you see that landscape. And you get to choose our focus, and that must be an enjoyable way of communicating through pictures of day-to-day surroundings, but it's things that we often just don't look at properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, with my portraits, it was always the narrative that was probably more important than the portrait or the sitter.
Yeah.
You know, that trying to build a story around a person or an idea that you've got around the female figure, whereas say some of my Welsh landscapes, it was that openness, and I suppose isolation sometimes, in the fact that you don't see many people in landscapes of Wales, you know, unless you want to paint people walking up Snowdonia. There's not a great deal of life on the hills. It's more about just the actual landscape, the actual nature and the outdoors. Whereas since lockdown has happened, I find myself putting more people in the landscapes, which I've never done before, and actually having them within the cityscape. And even then, you can kind of see isolation in people before lockdown, and you don't realise until you look back at certain pictures and you'll think, well, actually everyone's caught up in their own little bubble and going through the towns and missing out what's going on everywhere.
Yeah.
It's still sort of that kind of ideas with the landscapes now, and obviously the pictures I'm doing at the moment, because you can't leave where you live to go travelling like to Wales or just going places. Well, I've got to find inspiration.
And your pictures are kind of allowing you to travel without actually travelling.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what a painting will do for us. If we've got a painting on a wall, we're effectively you've got a window into that world, and you can enjoy that. From the comfort of your own home, but equally still go back to either that place or somewhere similar to make more memories, to again focus your thoughts about the image itself.
Well, yeah, that's it. You hope that people are looking to your picture and go, oh, it's almost like I'm standing there, like you say, looking into a window. And yeah, painting windows is hard as well.
So,
that's one of the struggles.
The exhibition is ongoing in Ironbridge. How do we find it, and can people buy the artworks there?
Yeah, people can. Yeah, it is for people to go round and buy. The gallery's a wonderful gallery. It's run by some really beautiful people, and the other people who are in the exhibition are really good. And it's where it's located in Ironbridge. It's Merrythought Village.
Yeah.
So there's an antiques place next to it, and it's where the teddy bear factory is.
Oh yeah.
So it's down there. So it's not in the Iron Bridge, say, centre. It's just off, right by the river.
So look out for the signs on that one, and of course you can find a lot of this on your Facebook and Instagram pages as well. Yeah. How do we find you online?
I'm on Instagram, obviously, like everyone these days, and that's Hannah Broadhead Art on Instagram. Facebook is the same, Hannah Broadhead Art. I've got a website, www.hannahbroadhead.com, and yeah, and gallery-wise, Iron Bridge Fine Art, Lady Longhorn Gallery in Cheshire, Number 4 Gallery in Scotland, Creative Framing in Wolverhampton, a few pieces in there, Mid Wales Art Centre.
So a fair few opportunities to get your hands on the work and see it in real life before you buy. But equally, if there's an image that you like on any of your feeds that is available, I'm sure you can arrange for postage as required.
Yes. Yeah, that can be done. DHL.
And always good to catch up with you. Looking forward to seeing you in real life again soon. Meanwhile, keep up the fantastic work, and we'll continue enjoying your artwork.
Thank you very much.
The Empty Can, popular not only across the Black Country, which is their home, but also across the world. I think we can go with world. James Stevens is part of the gang and joins me now. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Jason. How are you? How's lockdown treating you, mate?
Oh, it's fine for me. I'm getting by and just about keeping it all together. But I get to do that by chatting with lovely people like yourself, and this all helps. And music has been a massive part of it. And you've been at the forefront of entertainment throughout lockdown, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done quite a lot, and it's been really a lifeline for us performers as much as anything else. I mean, obviously the financial aspect's a bit lacking, but no, we've had...
It so often is, unfortunately, isn't it?
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. No, we've had with a mate of ours called Katie Parks, we've had a page called the Black Country Lockdown Live, which has got I think over 3,000 subscribers now, and just a place for everyone to come together and share their music and share their songs, whether it be cover versions, whether it be original songs, poetry, bit of comedy, from amateur to those of us that, pretended to be professional. Everyone's got together on there, so we've really enjoyed that. And of course, getting back into that creative side of things. I mean, because I've been pretty busy the past 4 or 5 years running my little pub, which, as you can see, I'm sat in my lovely little empty pub. So I've been busy with that, but it's been nice to get back to some creativity, and obviously it's led to us getting together as a band, which has been sort of 4 or 5 years since we've done anything seriously, and it looks like we'll have a record coming out at some point.
Well, this is it. The third album, that tricky third album. The first one you got the energy for. The second one is demanded by your public. The third one, what happens now?
Well, the first one, as you say, the first one writes itself.
Yeah.
You get together and you get a few mates and you get together and you've got the songs. The second one, you've got to get that. I mean, but I think the second one killed us really. It really did. It took 3 years to make the second record from top of the shop to getting it sort of completed, and it was 36 minutes long.
Well, that as a time that would have been a normal length for an album, though, wouldn't it? Back in the 60s,
yes.
and you've got a bit of that vintage feel about some of what you do.
But we do what we do. We write little pop songs. That's all we've ever, pretended to do. We're no more highfalutin than that. But the point I'm trying to make is it took a month for each minute of music.
That's just the quality that you were adding to it, I think.
But we got to the end of it. We're like, we're not doing that again, mate. You know what I mean? We're not doing that again. But we got together this week, Steve and I, of course, under social distancing parameters. And we threw a bit of material at the wall and actually found we got half a dozen songs that we really thought we could hang our coats on, So I think the idea with this is, let's get it done. We're not getting into the kind of involved production that you heard on Sonic Boom. we want to kind of get back to that barroom band sounds.
But I mean, this is just sort of what you've been doing a bit online as well, isn't it? Though, because that sort of helped. I think it's probably set a mindset for it.
Yeah, indeed, I agree with you. And we're just trying to get back to where we were, sort of roots-wise. Obviously, when we started, it was just 2 acoustic guitars and a violin.
Yeah.
And we were very much more of a live band. And then I think Sonic Boom and with the Black Country Anthem and things like that, it very much turned us into a studio band. I think the hope is that we can certainly get something out this year, rather than us saying in 2023 this product might see the light of day. And none of us getting any younger either, Jason.
Well, I'd say you wouldn't know it to look at you, but then you are wearing a hat to try and hide the fact your hair's as bad as mine. Exactly. Well, it's not quite as bad.
Let's have it right.
But I mean, to get this done, you've got to get some funding for it, and that's where the magic of the internet comes in.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does help. I mean, it's a meagre amount that we're looking for, and in fairness, it's not going to be a deal breaker in whether we sort of get on with making the music. I think more than anything, we do it to draw attention to the fact that, I think 71% of people have said that the arts is not an important job.
Yeah, I don't get that, but
in a recent survey in the Times, what I mean, and it's like, I think very much, certainly during under sort of Tory governments, that sports get invested in more and arts kind of get left by the wayside. So it's more of us, from us, a clarion call to say, if you don't think your artists need money, turn off your Netflix, turn off your radio, stick all your films in the bin. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But burn your albums, because these are the things that keep us sane. And these people who make this money, they've got to be able to eat, and they've got to be able to provide themselves with a certain kind of life in order to create the art that we all know and love.
Yeah.
I think it's more of us saying, just putting a flag above the ramparts, really, Jason. Do you know what I mean? Just to say that artists need to be paid for what they're doing.
Yeah, and this is kind of with the crowdfunder for anything like an album, you're just buying in advance into a product that you're going to enjoy from people you actually like, and that's what's happening here. So it's a chance to sign up and say, "Yep, I'm here. I'm with you on this journey. I want your music."
Yeah, exactly, and it's a nice way to reach out to. I mean, we do have some fans, whether people want to believe it or not. I think that they number half a dozen in there somewhere. But,
you're understating. Don't be naughty.
It's a nice way for us to reach out to people who have supported us from the beginning. And as I say, it's a very meagre amount of funding that we're looking for. But yeah, we're just happy that we've got some songs and that we've got the passion in our bellies actually at the moment to go and record them. So that's where we are, really, mate.
Well, that's all good. So I believe you've got a guitar somewhere about your person.
Oh, I've got one here, yeah. Now, I must tell you, because this has all come about, obviously, very quickly. So this was only written on Tuesday.
Okay. So this is a bit of a sample of things to come.
So you've got the exclusive on any new material from the album, and I think this is partially inspired by lockdown in terms of lyrics and what we're talking about. But hopefully it's not totally talking about that, because it'll be really dated come next April if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, can you hear that? Is that all right for you?
That's sounding good, but you play it loud and we'll enjoy.
I'll give you a go on this. It's called You Can't Remember the World. It has been said that we've done this to death. It's been suggested that we've got nothing left. I think it's fine that we've enjoyed our time, tried hard and almost got over the line. But when you look outside and you know you can't remember the world, and then you look inside and you always remember the hurt of the old town that you thundered around singing, I've got to get out of here, need to get out of here, got to get out of here, need to get out of here. It's the same place and I'm not getting out of here now. My face is red and I'm beating my chest. It's been suggested that I'm wasting my breath. it's fine that I've enjoyed my time. Tried hard and just fell short of the line. But when you look outside and you know you can't remember the world, and then you look inside and you always remember the girl from the old town, and the noise from the boys is that this is where your flag is unfurled. It could be worse. But when you look outside and you know you can't remember the world, and then you look inside and you always remember the hurt from the old town. You thundered around singing, I've got to get out of here, need to get out of here, got to get out of here, need to get out of here. It's the same place and I'm not getting out of here now. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff, and you wouldn't know that was a week old. That is a quality bit of songage there, so I'm already looking forward to album number 3.
Jason, I'm very pleased to speak to you this morning, mate. I'm very grateful for the time that you've spared us to be on your show.
Always good to see you. Give us all the details on how we gave cash on this one. How do people join up with the campaign?
Just get on our Facebook page and the link is there. It's as simple as that.
Just
the
look for
empty
the empty
can
can.
is on Facebook and you'll see a link on that page. And you'll see us with our begging bowl out. So just drop 10p in the buskers at.
That's the way to do it. The quality high it is as well. James Stevens, always good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Jason. All the best to you, mate.
Nikki Evans of the Helen O'Grady School in Wolverhampton is working with her pupils online and joins me now to tell me more about what's happening. Hello.
Hi.
How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. And you're currently surrounded by some great paraphernalia there. So tell us what happens with your online classes.
We still carry on with our normal curriculum that we normally do in class. It's just that we've adapted it to work online. Generally, during the summer period, we have our summer production. Mm-hmm. But naturally, as we couldn't go online, we've decided to have weekly themes. So we've had things like puppets, superheroes, picnics. We've had like a murder mystery as well at a garden party, inventors. We've also got upcoming things as well. So, we're just constantly keeping things up and running as normal.
Well, this works well for the kids as well because it means they don't miss out on their creative time and they're so used to joining you for weekly classes and the great fun that goes on there. So the last few weeks, it must have been interesting to see how they've developed through that and even through working online, you're building the confidence that you would normally do in real life.
Yeah, generally. I must admit their development and their confidence has just grown so much. I've had so many children that started off with, oh, no, I don't want to do online classes. But they've attended and haven't really interacted or anything. But then as the weeks went on, they're like there, straight in front of the screen, like, hello, I'm right here. But yeah, it's just amazing on like how they've just grown, even just online. So it's great.
And we know that not everybody who attends a class like yours is then going to go on and work in the arts, but it's all about them finding out who they are, coming together with, building self-confidence. But also, I mean, it is about having that enjoyable creative time and something which will stand them in good stead throughout their life.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we find with like the online classes that the children are finding that it's just an escape. The fact they've just been cooped in the houses now for 3 months, that, it's just something just to interact with, just to see other children and even myself, and just knowing that, we're all in it together and we're all going to have a lot of fun and we're just going to ignore what's going on in our classes. We're just going to have so much fun. It's just, really good. And their creativity, even when they're at home, it's just great. It's just lovely to see.
So what happens from here, do we think? Obviously, once it's safe to do so, you guys will be kind of getting back together again. We don't have a timescale for that, but it's going to be a whole interesting new world of maybe merging the two, some real life, some online stuff.
Yeah, there has been talk about that, and Yeah, I will definitely continue with online classes for those that can't even get to the classroom for one reason or another, or if they've missed one, then it's like, well, we do online classes on a particular day or time that you can still do it. We're also doing kindy drama as well, which we're launching very soon. And yeah, so we're just getting even the younger ones from about 2.5 years just before they enter school, just to try and build up their confidence just before they even start nursery or reception, just before they enter. You know, what we've got, it's unbelievable. We have so much that we can do. We've got like things like online pajama parties. We've got activity packs which we give out to the students. If anybody wants one, just drop us an email and I'll be happily drop you one as well. Youth Theatre Games nights, we even offered drama parties as well. So if it's your birthday coming up and you don't really know what to do, we can get all of the children together just for like a little drama party. So just drop us an email on those. So it's endless as to what we're offering. It
is, and so your creativity is starting to show even more with the team behind you, the Helen O'Grady head office as well. It all brings some fun together, a great time of communion for the kids and spending time together apart, but making sure that the creative stuff they started doing when they attend their classes just doesn't stop and it keeps going through the current period.
Yeah, it just brings the whole family together. And we meet every week just to catch up as to what we've been up to. And it's just lovely just to see everybody getting the ideas in. It's just knowing that you're not alone.
Well, you keep up that good work. You are the Wolverhampton branch of the Helen O'Grady School. So where do we find you and how do people get involved and get their kids booked into this?
Yeah, you can find us on the Facebook. Just type in Helen O'Grady Drama Academy Wolverhampton. You can see us on there. You can also email us, wolverhampton@helenoggrady.co.uk. You can also find us on our Instagram page, Wolves Helen O'Grady, I think it is. I can't remember what it is.
There's so many social media handles, it makes it hard work, doesn't it? But search for Helen O'Grady Wolverhampton on all platforms and you'll get an idea of what's going on. You can find out the costings and get the kids involved and also see the great stuff that they can do. And once things are back to more normal, the real life classes will commence as well. For now, Nikki Evans, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, whenever I have a chat with local singer-songwriter Spence, he seems to be in a different part of the world at the moment. Today is no exception. I think he's in Norway and he joins me now for a chat. Hello.
Hey, Jason. Yes, you're right. I am in Norway. I'm in a place called Skien, which is spelled S-K-I-E-N. I've been here for since Friday, so I'm leaving today. I've done a couple of gigs and I'm heading back to Oslo.
So, mainland Europe, is this a bit more normal at the moment than we are over in the UK?
I think so, yeah, it seemed to be. I think we locked down here, it was March the 14th, because I was actually on the way to a gig and I was almost at the door and they said, sorry mate, it's all off, you've got to go back. So it was March the 14th and things started back up last weekend here in terms of, live entertainment and things like that, but still a lot of restrictions on. You can't have more than, I think it's 200 people, but the place I was in last night, they were trying to restrict it to less than that, and there's supposed to be social distancing at the bar and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. But so it's back on.
Which is good news as long as it's done sensibly. So what is going on with all the music, and why do I keep finding you in different European countries?
Well, that's a good question. Last year, my partner got a job in Oslo, so we decided to give it a go. It's a 3-year contract. We kind of go backwards and forwards to here in the UK, but we kind of stayed here the last few months because of the lockdown. So that's basically the reason why I came along. I found an agency that took me on last November and started picking up gigs in Norway, and they've got like a franchise. They supply the acts for like a franchise that goes across Scandinavia. So they send me here, they send me there, they send me everywhere.
But I mean, Norway itself, absolutely fantastic country. I've only ever been to Stavanger and driven around that area, but just on that edge, the fjords there are phenomenal, and it's a different way of life, isn't it? Because of the way they've got all these different islands, and as you head out, there are tunnels to some, bridges to other, and it is just a really interesting way of life.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's, as you know, they've got the same stuff over here that they've got over there back in the UK, but everything's just slightly different. I don't speak Norwegian. I very litt norsk, but that doesn't sort of, for me anyway. I can get by. Pretty much everyone under 50 speaks perfect English.
Yeah,
I've found.
Yeah. Well, going to the shops is no problem at all.
The bus company here is called Farter.
Right.
So there's lots of those kind of comedy kind of crossover words going on. But yeah, the people here are generally pretty nice. They're pretty. They've got a reputation. The reputation is that they're very standoffish and they're very reserved and they don't let you in. But I haven't really found that at all here. I've been lucky. My partner already knew some people here before we came out, so I think that really helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally, people seem pretty open, and particularly in Oslo, it's quite sort of cosmopolitan. So there's kind of a lot of different, races and nationalities there. Anyway, it's not all kind of Norwegian. So, so yeah, and as you said, the landscape is stunning, breathtaking. We went to Bergen recently and did a fjord cruise, which was just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And
I've all found everyone out there to be really nice. But I mean, does that extend to the gigs as well? Because a lot of the music I listen to is English. You're talking 4.5 million people, so you only get one type of each breakfast cereal and bread. You don't get the multiple channels of food and products out there. So how does it work with music? Is that the same sort of thing?
That's a good question. I guess because I'm sort of... I mean, I don't really listen to the radio and stuff like that anyway. I'm more, obviously online kind of stuff. And the music that they play in the venues that I play in, it's kind of a real mixture. It's like a bit of Norwegian pop. It's mainly all the stuff that you probably hear in any bar on Broad Street kind of thing. So yeah, it's a bit of a mix really. But yeah, I'd say that it's probably 80-20. I'd say English music, and then they have like the Norwegian music as well. Which sounds just like the kind of UK music, but with Norwegian lyrics, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but even the media as well. I mean, from experience, yes, obviously there are Norwegian channels out there, but you can sit around and watch Top Gear pretty much all day.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really watch that much TV. I mean, I'm more, sort of looking on YouTube and stuff like that, and Netflix and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's a channel. I forgot what the channel is over here, but they pick up a lot of BBC stuff. So yeah, if you're missing the BBC,
you're sorted.
Yeah, get your BBC fix.
Okay, so where are you with your music at the minute? Because is there a sort of Norwegian-influenced album on the way?
I am writing new stuff at the moment. I did an album. The last album I did was the back end of 2018, Leaving Las Vegas, which is out on all the platforms right now. And yeah, because of we moved from Birmingham to Stroud, and then from Stroud to Oslo in the space of kind of 18 months, which was a bit crazy. So that was kind of a lot of the time was taken up with that. But I am writing new stuff now, and there'll probably be a couple of singles later this year.
So that's something to look out for. And now you're an international artist. You can promote these via the internet anyway.
Well, yeah, it could be big in Skien.
That would be fantastic. If we can get you to the top of the Norwegian iTunes chart, we'd love it, wouldn't we?
That would be great, yeah. I'd love that.
Spence, give us the details on where we can find you online.
Yeah, it's spencecatermusic.com is the website. You can check out Bandcamp, Spence Music for the album, and Spence Cater Music on the Facebook.
Well, let's talk when you've got some new stuff out there, and fingers crossed in the not too distant future, I might be able to nip over to Norway and see you play live.
I'd love that, Jason. I'd love to see your little face in the crowd.
That'd be good. I would like that. I'd love Norway, and your music's fantastic. That'd be good.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
See you soon.
It's good to see you, mate. See you soon.
Essington's The 1911 Cafe is now open for takeaways. To tell us more about what's going on over there, John Eccleston. Hello, sir.
Hello there, Jason.
How are we doing?
Very well, thank you very much. Business is booming after the week and a half we opened on the 10th of June. and business is going really well at the moment.
Which is absolutely fantastic news, because this has been born out of the ashes of the Essington Tea Room, which in itself was preparing to close down even before the situation around the pandemic meant that eating in was no longer possible. But this is a new birth and a new opportunity.
Yeah, it is a new birth and new opportunity. The Old School Tea Rooms Essington was open for 6.5 years. My partner, James, who managed the tea rooms for Essington Parish Council, worked there, and they was made redundant on the 1st of March. And then literally, it was the 17th of March, just after some of the lockdown rules, that it was decided to close for good. And of course, Essington Parish Council had put the tender out for the Old School Tea Rooms, and James wanted to manage it and make it his own business, and we've breathed some new life into it by calling it the 1911 Cafe, which is quite relevant to the actual area. I'll explain that in a little bit, but he's opened on the 10th of June, offering a takeaway service, obviously within government guidelines.
Yep.
The cafe itself has been marked up with social distancing guidance. We've actually only got like a third of the actual entrance open, allowing 3 people in, and it's telephone orders. We can take card payments over the telephone, so everything's all completely contactless. And we've got a little order and collection point, so it's order and collect over the telephone, basically.
So this has been a case of taking a business which had already got a lot of community spirit, and then putting it into a whole new concept based on new normal. And through the work that James and the team had done in the past, they'd really built up a customer base who were keen to be part of that community, and that's something that really is the ethos behind where you are now.
Yeah, the customer database over the 6.5 years that it had been open as the Old School Tea Rooms. During that time in 2017, they won the Midland What's On magazine Best Cafe in Wolverhampton and the Black Country, which was an amazing award. And it's still over there at the moment. We won't be displaying it. We've decided to turn the 1911 Cafe into a new venture. What we are planning to do in the future with it is to actually have it as a community hub. We want to keep that community aspect into the village. It has been set up as a limited company to start off with, and it is our intentions within the next 12 months to turn it into a CIC.
Yeah, the community industry companies are doing great things, and it's certainly that kind of spirit that you're showing. So tell us a bit about the 1911 part of the name. The cafe I can work out.
The 1911 part of the 1911 Cafe sort of relates to the Old School Tea Rooms. The Old School Tea Rooms, by name, is in an old school. It's called Brownshaw First School, and it's now owned by Essington Parish Council as a community centre, and has been owned since around 1986. I was actually one of the last years. In fact, I was in the last year at the first school. So I've lived in Essington all my life, and then they closed the first school and then introduced the middle school over the road, which we'd go over to. And then we'd go over to the high school. And we was the first set of first years. I don't know what they call them these days.
I can't work the
6,
numbers
7,
out.
8, 9. I can't work the numbers out either. But that's what happened. And with the school itself, the actual building where the 1911 Cafe is in actually the original school building. And on the very front, there is this gorgeous stone block that says 1911 on it. It's the building block of the date the building was actually made.
So if you've got built-in signage already, it'd be foolhardy not to make the most of it, and it gives that sense of history.
That saved us a small fortune, I tell you.
It does. Signage isn't cheap these days. So lots of great work being done, and as you say, placing orders, paying for them over the phone, and it makes it nice, simple and quick when you do turn up to pick up your food. And it's about having something that's a bit of a change, a bit different, and supporting a community venture which is going to just grow and grow over the coming years.
Yeah, the support that we've had from the community, bearing in mind that we've only actually done this over Facebook and built a website for it. So it's basically been word of mouth that's been passed around. The support that we've had over the last week and a half has been absolutely amazing. This week alone, obviously, with Father's Day this week, we've been doing a gentleman's afternoon tea, and we've had over 70 bookings for afternoon tea boxes for takeaway. I think if I see another cake and sandwich, I think I'll cry.
But even so, I mean, those 70 bookings would be difficult to do necessarily in the normal opening hours of a tea room as well. So this has actually got a great business method which can continue to run alongside operating a normal day-to-day tea room once restrictions allow.
Yeah, I think operating the normal restrictions, I mean, a lot of the business planning that we actually did for the business proposal that James placed through was to highlight how big the room is. We have to look at all the different social distancing measures from 2 meters down to the 1 meter that they're talking about. So once you get 2 meters, we do have a very large room anyway, and we can fit a number of tables in. Yes, we've put all the tables out and played around with it, ensuring that the customer's safety is there. Right down to the ordering procedure. We're actually going to be doing disposable menus, text orders from your table. I'm also in the mode of developing an app so that customers can use the app. And of course, there's the good old-fashioned option of people can write us a note on a piece of paper. But we're making things contactless so that the customer goes in, sits at the table when we're allowed to open, and basically there's virtually no contact other than all your food will come out at the same time. At the end of it, our card machine's portable, so we can actually place it on the table. The customer can place their card onto the contactless machine. So we've had to look at all the different things, cleaning effects, how each individual table is going to be cleaned, and the furniture. So it's not just the contact surfaces of a table. You've got to think of bums on chairs, for example, as well. Yeah,
making sure you keep people safe, but also the primary goal there is giving them brilliant food they're enjoying. They're already doing that now with the takeaway service. Yes. Where do we go to find out more and to get tea on order?
For more information about the 1911 Cafe, you can visit our website at www.1911cafe.co.uk. You can also find us on Facebook by just popping in the search box, The 1911 Cafe, and you will find one of our 2 Facebook pages we have. So just come and join us on there. All our menus are available online and on Facebook. And to order, all you need to do is give us a telephone call using the contact telephone number of 01922 408 900. And we are open Monday to Saturday at the moment between 11 and 3, although our hours may be tweaked, so it may be 10 till 2, but that will be confirmed on our website. So, and any changes on there.
So that's the website is the place to check out all the details, and real life is the place to enjoy the fantastic food from the 1911 Cafe. Well, good luck to both yourself and James and the rest of the team in this venture. But for now, John Eccleston, thank you for joining us.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Jason, for speaking to us today on the Milk Bar.
Well, that's your lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Back with episode 575 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the Milk Bar. Goodbye from the Milk Bar. Goodbye from the Milk Bar. Goodbye from the Milk Bar, yeah. Goodbye from the Milk Bar, yeah.